Okay, so I think we are live. I'm just going to check on YouTube to make sure everything is recording. Looks like we're good. Hopefully, maybe. I want to give people a few moments to hop on in. Yeah, it looks like we're good. No comments yet. Or chat windows, I should say. So let's hop right in. So thank you everyone for coming. This will be my first of hopefully a long stream of lives where I will be getting in the habit of doing videos more often, particularly recording, but also practice live streaming and presenting live. So first I wanted to go over some crypto news. This rotates. This was something different. Oh, here we go. So Ripple's executive chairman moves to dismiss the SEC lawsuit. Ripple's going to make this effort, but for those of you who don't know, Ripple Labs is the founder and creator and owner of most of the XRP token. XRP has a very good marketing department, and so there are a lot of people online that talk up Ripple, and so a lot of people are pretty big fans of it because of that. They are currently being sued by the SEC for unlicensed sale of a security, which is basically that they sold something like stock without having a proper license. That is because Ripple is fundamentally different from cryptocurrencies, most cryptocurrencies, in which most cryptocurrencies are kind of proof of stake or proof of work systems in which everyone starts out more or less on an equal footing, and you have to kind of contribute to the network in order to get cryptocurrency. For Bitcoin, the most popular crypto, that is through the form of mining. So mining is just confirming transactions, and if you successfully are able to confirm a transaction, you get rewarded in Bitcoin block rewards. In the early days, it was 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes or so. Now we're down to 6.25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes or so, because Bitcoin is a deflationary asset. And so Ripple is different from these. It is a much more centralized network as opposed to decentralized cryptocurrencies. And because of that, the SEC is going after them. So that hasn't really had many updates, and they're just saying here that Ripple's chairman is moving to dismiss the SEC lawsuit, and that's basically Ripple saying we're getting sued, we don't want to be sued, so I think this should be thrown out. They present some reasonable legal arguments, but because they are not as decentralized as normal cryptocurrencies, this is definitely a vulnerability to Ripple. So do keep this in mind if you choose to invest in Ripple's XRP token. So our next thing of news I thought was kind of funny. Mark Cuban argues Bitcoin is better than gold, telling Peter Schiff gold is dead, move on. This is kind of funny just because Peter Schiff is like a running joke in the crypto community, which you'll find if you start following larger crypto creators or start learning more about cryptocurrency, because Peter Schiff has basically been saying cryptocurrency is a sham pretty much as long as it's been around, and Peter Schiff's kid is actually a huge Bitcoin proponent. So he actually had this thing. I want to see if I can find it for you all. This thing on Twitter. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I don't know how Twitter works that well. But basically, Peter Schiff put out a survey for people to tell him what they think the better investor is. Him, like a licensed professional expert who's been at it for years, or some teenager, which is his kid, who just tells you to buy Bitcoin. And Twitter voted for the kid, and finance also voted for the kid, because Bitcoin investments, when he started getting on board, have turned into massive windfalls for their early adopters. So it's pretty funny. And so everyone likes to rag on Peter Schiff, and he stands his ground. He's like, no, gold is better than Bitcoin. So it's pretty funny that now you've got much more well-known heavy hitters, and by that I just mean wealthy people, arguing for Bitcoin than before it was just hobbyists and people who really understood the financial system and really didn't like the current financial system and such. So this is kind of funny. So I wanted to mention that. Another thing, Ethereum gas prices. You may have noticed that Ethereum gas prices were up to like $100 and $200 per transaction, which when you're trading on Uniswap was just ridiculous and unreasonable. Which for many people, the promise of DeFi is to democratize finance for everyone. There are other things, but that's fundamentally one of the big proposition values. One of the big value propositions, and Ethereum gas fees being like $100 to $200 per transaction made this a very unrealistic reality. And so it's good now to see that Ethereum gas fees are dropping because daily decentralized exchange volume and decentralized finance volumes are declining. So this is kind of some good news. Going over the Bitcoin updates that I do in brief on other channels, we do currently have 2.355 million Bitcoin left to be mined, and the current mining rate of Bitcoin is 900 Bitcoin per day. This is not how many Bitcoin I am mining or anyone I know is mining. This is how many new Bitcoin are being created, so to speak, every single day. And by created, I just mean they're coming out of this pool of Bitcoin that is not yet in circulation and entering this pool of Bitcoin in existence that is now in circulation. CoinGecko over here, we do have Bitcoin at a price point of 47K and down 7.3% on the day. Still up on the week, but only a 1/10%. So there's that. Bitcoin Treasuries website, we do have the total value of Bitcoin stored in the treasuries of publicly traded companies is $63.7 billion. So that's pretty neat. Cycle repeat, the current after having top was up to almost $1 million as recently as a couple weeks ago. And because of this recent pullback you see around here that I will zoom in on, because of this recent pullback that they weren't predicting, their after having top prediction has fallen to $678,000, and this is still quite a bit above what my predictions are and what most people in the crypto space's predictions are. This chart is based on previous cycles, so if Bitcoin follows a similar trend to what we saw in 2017, this is what we could expect for the after having top. And just for clarity, it looks like they're saying it'll peak out-ish around mid-October, reach the absolute top like a week later, and then start falling back down. So October timeframe is when they're predicting the top is going to be. In terms of the stock to flow model, we use this to measure the fair value of Bitcoin, and as of now, today is Thursday, March 4th, there is a fair value of 48.3K for the stock to flow model, and again, Bitcoin's price is 47K, so we are a bit undervalued by this model, which has been fairly accurate in the past, so that's good. We could be looking bullish soon. Treasuries we've done. This is the net unrealized profit loss chart. We do have a 70% net unrealized profit loss. Just for clarity, in the past, historically, when the net unrealized profit loss reaches 75%, it is the peak of a bull run, and then we have a massive correction. This has only ever not happened for years, I should say. Once back in 2013, when we had this time, it was up to 80%. There was a relative peak where Bitcoin's price reached around $200, and it varied by the exchange, but around $200, and then it fell back down to something like 70 or 80 bucks. Yeah, here they're saying 66. And that was like a several month dip. So that peaked in April, it fell back down by mid-July, and then the actual top of that bull run happened in November. So it was like a double top event. So this didn't happen last time in 2017. It was just once we finally reached that 75 level, that percentage level, and then stayed above it for a little bit, that was the indicator of the top happening. And we were dangerously close most recently a couple weeks ago, end of February. We actually hit 75% exact, and then the level fell down quite a bit when Bitcoin had its massive correction. So we do want this to stay lower, and these corrections are good and healthy because they mean our bull run can continue longer. Bitcoin's dominance here, I have this over here because it's a moving chart, 61.71%. You can see it's kind of stationary over the past couple days. When this falls, money is flowing from Bitcoin into other alternative cryptocurrencies like large caps such as Ethereum or Cardano, and then from those into smaller cap altcoins. This is important to watch because if we see the price dropping and this staying steady, then it means people are not moving money into other cryptocurrencies. They're pulling funds out of cryptocurrency in general. And if we see Bitcoin's price staying the same and then this number dropping, it means that money is flowing into those alternative cryptocurrencies. So that's a good sign. Our last thing I wanted to take a look at is the pi cycle top indicator. For this one, they found that there are these two lines, and whenever they cross, it has historically been within a 3-day accuracy, which is really accurate, especially when you're looking at like a 4-year time horizon. Within a 3-day accuracy, that is the peak of a bull run. So we're getting kind of close, which is not the greatest to see, but we have not yet crossed, and so we are not yet indicated to be at a top. Keep in mind, though, these indicators are very popular right now, and with this going on, everyone is kind of looking at these, and so it could become a self-fulfilling prophecy where once this happens, Bitcoin is just naturally going to take a massive correction, just a huge dump, because people are reading these indicators and then making decisions based on that. So that's something you want to be careful of and watch out for. So that's pretty much all I have to report today. If you want to follow me on other platforms or learn more, you can check out my beacons page, which will be linked in my bio or in my in the description for this video. You see almost all the social media platforms on here. The only link we don't have right now is Quora, which I believe they are adding. I got a message about that, so that's cool. But you can find that by going to here over on my link tree, and then checking out Quora. And I try to answer as many questions as I can, but I get several dozen a day, and I do work full time, so it's difficult to have time for that and then also have time to make videos and bring you all the news and updates. So that's pretty much it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I have nothing more to comment on, so I will check, and we have no questions. So thank you all for coming. I will see you next time. Take care.